So I farm together with my dad and my younger brother, and we are corn and soybean farmers here in northwest Iowa. We're a quarter mile off the border of Minnesota. We farm both Minnesota and Iowa, back and forth, and I've been actively farming since I could walk with Dad. We started with Dan in about 2014, 2015, give or take. And I just knew of him being around all the time, talking to Dad, seed. I was always present in the meetings. And I'd say I graduated high school in 2017, and I'd say it was 2019 when Dan first started talking to me. And he just came out. It was one day. It was probably July. He was just picking up returns and going over, dropping some more chemical off. And he goes, "Hey, you should seriously think about being a dealer." And honestly, I've learned more going to meetings and being around these people for our own farm and to help other people out than I probably would have learned at a lot of colleges. Personally, that's how I like to learn. I'm more of, like I said, hands-on. I like to see it. I want to make sure it's going to better the customer rather than just push them what everybody else wants you to push. And this is, our best product. No, I grow these products. I put these products on my farm to better my own family's operation. And if I don't see it, I don't really like to promote it just because I want to know it's proven. I've gotten a lot of compliments on how our crops look, how deep green we are, how long we can keep green, how our standability wise. I mean, it kind of lets you know that what you're doing is in the right wheelhouse. I've been doing Xylem and EnerG in furrow since 2020. And last year was our first year doing NutriFoliar. So we didn't get any hail damage yet, knock on wood. We've been extremely wet. I had two back-to-back days, so we were already pretty saturated. I didn't get in the field to plant my beans, starting to plant beans until June 10th. So I got to see some of the first-hand look of, okay, this is how it was working in 19 so far, at least in the summer. We've been able to keep corn, been able to keep the stock and the systemic activity a lot better throughout the plant, throughout rougher conditions, rougher areas, some of the spots out in South Dakota, and I was able to watch that all summer long. And it's like, okay, I've been really pushing. I've wanted to do in-furrow on a planter for a while. Dad and I just haven't been set up for it yet. And we ended up biting the bullet in 20, and we put it on winter of 19 into 20 that year before the crop season. Got it all put on. I was really excited to put my starter on. So I put starter, Xylem, and EnerG the first year. And that on the trials we gave us, or on the average, we averaged right at 18 bushel better between the starter, Xylem, and EnerG. And from everything from then on, I've been anywhere from 15 to 20 bushel on those three products in furrow. And I feel like that has gained a hell of a lot. Well, every farmer I talk to, when it comes to putting in furrow products in, I've always been told, and my dad was the first person that brought this up, you always like the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid when it comes to planting. Everybody wants to be able to put seed in the ground and go back and forth and just do seed. Well, nobody wants to put a liquid kit on because that takes one more guy, or it takes another person or another tender to run liquid out to the planter because it's a little bit more effort. Everybody kind of complains about that or grumbles about it. Oh, it's a little more work. I just want to be able to plant, and it's such short planting windows, which I totally get. But if you put liquid on, the best thing you can see is when you go through with the combine and fully understand, you run your checks and you go through where you didn't apply liquid, or where you did, or you did this product, or you didn't do that product. It really showed. Here with how wet we were and the leaching we had of nitrogen, if you put on a little bit of starter or you put on different products in furrow, it showed early. Your corn was deeper green. It popped up faster. It wasn't hurting in your side hills as bad as what some of the others are. It is physically crazy when you go do a side-by-side with Xylem and you see farms that don't have Xylem, even same hybrid, same dirt, side by side, and there is literally no difference. And I know a lot of people will say, oh, that's corn on corn stalks, or that's not a fair comparison. No, these are same dirt, same past crop last year. That's a pretty big difference in stock. So Xylem, I do 24 ounces in furrow, and I do 16 ounces over the top with my post and another 16 with fungicide. The quicker I can get my product on before it gets hot and dry is a big deal. So like right now, they're talking next week and the week after, we're supposed to get really, really hot and really, really dry. They're actually talking about flash droughts up in South Dakota and western South Dakota, western Nebraska, which is why I'm pushing so hard. If we get these products the other day, it'll actually help your stress level through that much more also, because you'll be opening your stock up. You'll have more flow of nutrients. And the more nutrients you have in that stock, the healthier that stock is, the more stress it can handle. Between the Xylem, EnerG, and NutriFoliar, it really held us together, and we were able to pack on the weight we could in corn. We were able to dry down nice. We actually still stayed green longer. I had leaves on corn that were still green last year when I was ripping my corn stalks 2 weeks after I combined it. And I mean, I'm not talking like forest green, but I'm still talking excessive hints of green in leaves, which I have personally never seen that before. And when you can have plant health that's that good through the season to where you're ripping corn stalks in November and it's still green, that lets you know that you're doing everything you could.